Kara Zor-El is getting ready to come back to the big screen in the upcoming movie Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. This movie is part of the new DC universe, specifically fitting into Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. They're making this new era of DC movies based a lot on the original comic books that made DC famous. The people in charge of this project are James Gunn, who's known for working on Guardians of the Galaxy, and Peter Safran, who's known for being involved with Aquaman. DC Studios is taking their franchises in a new direction with this restart, trying to bring back the feeling of the original comic book stories that first made them popular. Since the first movie in this new universe will be Superman Legacy, it's fitting that Superman's cousin is also going to have her own story. Let me introduce you to her and her adventures. Kara Zor-El first showed up in Action Comics number 252 and has been a big part of DC Comics since 1959. While her famous cousin had an amazing destiny, Kara didn't want to be a hero. She wanted to live a peaceful life in Argo City. But when Krypton was about to be destroyed, Kara's parents put her in a special pod and sent her to Earth, the same planet where her baby cousin Kal-El was sent. When Krypton was destroyed, Kara lost everything. When she woke up on Earth, she had incredible powers like a god. But there's a twist. She woke up many years after Krypton was destroyed, and her baby cousin is now much older than her. Getting used to her new life is really hard for Kara. Unlike Clark, who got to grow up normally, she saw her home planet get destroyed, and she has to deal with that sadness while also having amazing powers. This difference between Superman and Supergirl is the basis for a lot of different stories about the Girl of Steel. Eventually, Kara decides to be a superhero, and she joins the Justice League, becomes a Red Lantern, and even joins the Legion of Superheroes. Even though Supergirl gets her powers from Earth's sun, her inner strength is just as important. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is based on a graphic novel by Tom King with the same title. In this story, Supergirl goes on a journey through space to celebrate her 21st birthday with her loyal superdog Krypto. On her travels, she meets a young woman named Ruthie, who is determined to get revenge on the person who killed her father. The challenge is that they're on a planet with a red sun, which takes away Supergirl's powers. But that doesn't stop her from wanting to do what's right. Together, Ruthie and Supergirl embark on a journey across the galaxies to find the murderer. They face obstacles and enemies along the way, but they're determined to succeed. Woman of Tomorrow is a story that focuses on understanding Supergirl's character. It shows her courage, strength, and vulnerabilities, making it one of the most impactful tales to come out of DC Comics in recent years. Let's explore some of the reasons why this comic is highly regarded. It takes place far from Earth. When we usually think about Supergirl stories, we picture her in familiar places like Metropolis or National City. However, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow does things differently. Right from the start, the story takes us far away from Earth, following Supergirl and Ruthie as they journey through outer space together. During their space adventure, Kara and Ruthie encounter various creatures and visit different locations within the DC universe. This adds a lot of excitement to the story. Additionally, this new setting allows the creators, Tom King and Bilquis Evely, to bring a fresh and unique touch to Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Its wholesome vibe. Even though the comic is titled Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, it actually pays a lot of attention to Ruthie. Ruthie is the young woman seeking vengeance for her father's death, and her journey through space introduces her to a world beyond her farm life. Supergirl plays a significant role in helping her learn and adapt. Early in the series, there's a moment when Ruthie watches Kara wash her hands and asks her about it. This simple act leads to a touching scene where Kara teaches Ruthie how to do it. This scene is heartwarming and emphasizes Kara's compassionate and relatable nature, showcasing her human side. Supergirl uses her brains. Supergirl has always been known for her incredible superpowers, but Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow challenges this right from the beginning. In the first several issues, she's mostly without her usual abilities. Furthermore, throughout the comic, there are instances where her powers are limited, and she's pushed to find new ways to handle situations. Normally, Supergirl's powers are a big part of her identity. However, by taking them away, the comic strips her down to her core. This unique approach gives readers a fresh perspective on her heroism. Without relying solely on her powers, Supergirl has to think creatively and use her experience to overcome challenges. This allows us to see her heroic qualities in a different light, showcasing her intelligence and the wisdom she's gained over the years. There are space pirates. Space pirates are a common theme in science fiction, and they play a significant role in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. The main antagonist, Krem of the Yellow Hills, steals Supergirl's spaceship. He teams up with a ruthless crew of space pirates, and together they cause chaos and destruction as they travel through the stars. Later in the story, Supergirl confronts these space pirates directly. What's interesting is that the pirate's ship doesn't look like a typical futuristic spaceship. Instead, it resembles the sailing ships from the 1700s that used to roam the Caribbean, complete with advanced cannons that shoot high-tech projectiles. The artist, Bilquis Evely, does a fantastic job portraying this unique visual, making it a standout element in a comic already filled with remarkable visuals. It's both a fantasy romp and a sci-fi epic. One of the most exciting aspects of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is how writer Tom King and artist Bilquis Evely bring together both fantasy and sci-fi elements in a captivating way. The comic seamlessly blends these two genres, which are rarely combined. The comic's first issue starts off as a fantasy tale set on a medieval-like planet, and as the story progresses, it evolves into a more sci-fi adventure. Yet it manages to retain its fantasy essence throughout. This combination of fantasy and sci-fi is quite unique in the world of superhero comics. Most comics tend to stick to one genre, but Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow successfully weaves elements from both, resulting in a multi-layered and distinctive story that stands out from the rest. It highlights Argo City's final days. Dedicated Supergirl fans are well-versed in her backstory, especially her origins. As a teenager, Kara was sent away from Argo City and arrived on Earth years after her cousin Kal-El did. A few issues into Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, a fresh perspective is offered on the tragedy of Argo City's downfall. The story delves into the heart-wrenching experience of the city slowly dying after being separated from a destroyed Krypton. Kara Zor-El, with her unwavering determination, does everything she can to aid her people during this difficult time. This part of the story is incredibly moving and saddening, showcasing the true nature of Supergirl's character. Despite the terrible circumstances she witnessed, she didn't succumb to despair like many others might have. She remained resolute and continued to embody heroism until the very end. Tom King skillfully brings out the inner struggles of this hero, highlighting her resilience and inspiring readers with the idea that they too can overcome challenges. Bilquis Evely's artwork beautifully captures all the emotions and intricacies of these moments. There's emotional realism. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow stands out for its deeply moving emotional realism. This doesn't come as a surprise, given Tom King's writing style, which consistently carries a philosophical yet tender quality. His thoughtful exploration of human nature blends seamlessly with the literary depth of his writing, resulting in comics that are truly heartwarming. While the story unfolds as a space opera, that's merely the surface level of what's happening. Despite the interstellar adventure, King's depiction of both Ruthie and Kara goes beyond the external events. The focus is on their inner lives, their feelings, aspirations, and anxieties. This approach allows readers to connect deeply with the characters, as their emotions become the driving force of the narrative. Amidst all the grand settings, the characters' relatable emotions, hopes, and fears take center stage, making them highly relatable and creating an emotional resonance that lingers. This marks the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you like and share it. Let us know your opinions in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you at the next one.